And
Okay, you married Betty when?
August 18th of 1942, and in January 43, I was drafted in the Army, and I went down to Fresno in the basic training, and then we went to I went to Denver, Colorado for armament school, and from there we went to Tyndall Field, Florida for gunnery school, and then I moved to Salt Lake City to be made up the crews, and from Salt Lake City we went to Tucson, B-24 crew, and then we went to Topeka, Kansas, got us our new B-24, and we flew to England, and D-Day day after D-Day we start our first mission, and then I flew 29 missions. I counted 30, but they give me 20 credit for 29. And then I came home, and that was the end of my Army, World War II. And then about 6-8 months later, the war was over, and I got discharged back to Bear Island.
And what did you were on a B-24 to start with?
I flew a B-24 for about 9 missions, and the whole group changed over to B-17s.
And what was your assignment? Where were you?
I was a gunner. I was an armor gunner, and my job, really, after we got up over the channel heading for Germany, I went in the bomb bays, and I pulled the pins out of all the bombs, made them live. And then at the end, the bombardier would say, Elwood, go up there in the bomb bay and be sure all them bombs are gone. So I'd go up there, and if somebody hung up in the shackles, I had a tool like a big screwdriver, and I'd go up there, and the bomb bays were open, and we was still over at the target, just left the target, and I'd manually start at the bottom. If the whole row was hung up, I'd go up one by one, I'd drop them. And the tail gunner, he was back there, and he says, you know, you got an old farm that day with one of those bombs. So, but anyway, that was my job, to take care of the bombs in the bomb bay. Either pull the pins so they'd all go, or if they didn't all go up and release them one by one and get them out.
Just drop them off.
We never brought no bombs home, and I never put any pins back in. Once I pulled a pin, I had a little leather pack, a little sack. I put all the pins in, because then at our briefing after the mission, one of the officers would take the pins and be sure that all the bombs that we had the pins were all there, to be sure that everything was.
The bombs were all off.
Yeah. Okay, we're here with Elwood Fry. He flew 30 missions over to Germany from England, and they're discussing stories about World War II with Daniel McCabe, who was in the Battle of the Bulge in the Army. So we had one on the ground and one in the air.
And now during the Battle of the Bulge, that was a bad day too. There was that terrible snowstorm came in England, and the whole Europe every Air Force was completely grounded. And the Germans took advantage, and they made the Bulge. And as soon as about December the 25th, I think it was the 25th or 24th, the next morning it was blue sky, and the whole 8th Air Force took off. One and all, everyone was flying. Every airplane that could fly was in the air, and we tried to stop them Germans from rushing in onto the troops.
And that was the day you were went into the Battle of the Bulge.
Well, yeah. Christmas morning we woke up, and said 25 men from each platoon is going to be flown to the front this afternoon. Did
you see the Air Force coming on that 25th? The snowstorm? Was the storm cleared up?
No, it was bad. They couldn't fly. We had to go by boat and all kinds of stuff to get over to France.
Oh.
But the 25th was the day that they came in. I was with the 69th Division.
I know right at Christmas time is when things were really trying to help the poor troops over there.
Yeah, and we were
every airplane that we had, either the 25th or 26th, I know the storm was over with, and we were on our way.
Yeah.
Bombing low altitude. We bombed. We were back like in Berlin, or we was flying 30,000 feet. But when we was the troops, we was right down 10,000 feet trying to get the bridges and highways.
To get all the good stuff, yeah.
Okay, that's quite a story. And we want to thank you very much for your service, both of you. We applaud the greatest generation ever.
Yeah, well,
Did you have any war pictures?